to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today we are going over the new Oden'S Jewel Shine collection. This consists of 42 beautiful single shadows that range from shimmers, multi-chrome and duochromes as well. Absolutely stunning as always from Oden'S. What do we expect? But today's video is going to be a pretty long one, so I would recommend grabbing a snack or a drink because I got swatches, comparisons, and 3 looks for you as well. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and hop straight into the review. So like I mentioned, there are 42 single shadows in total. 30 of them are in their shimmer formula, which go for $6.90, and then the other 12 are in their multi-chrome formula, which are $14.90 USD each. And they do have these little containers that you can put the single shadows in that's available for purchase. So the 12-pan one looks like this. This is $6.90. It's actually really cute because you can take this little paper out, you can keep it clear and you can see all of the shadows inside, or you can put the paper in. It also does come with stickers as well, so you can decorate as you please. That's really cute. And then if you just want to pick up a couple shadows, they do have these single containers in a clear case, which are $2.90, and they will be having a promo for this launch. So I'm gonna have all of that info in my description just because it is a lot, but you can save some money with those promos that they're going to be having. Also, I do have an affiliate code with Oden'S. It is my name, Judy, at checkout. If you want to save an extra 10% off, that code is always there for you. I do just earn a small commission if you do choose to shop with my code. But this collection, guys, seriously is so pretty. Like, it's so much fun playing with all of these beautiful shimmers and multi-chrome and just creating the 3 looks that I did. I was just so inspired, and I think you guys are really gonna love this entire collection. I now want to go into the swatches and show you everything. I'm probably gonna hop into a voiceover and talk over everything because I don't want to make this video too long. So with that being said, let me show you all of the beautiful 42 single shadows. So here are all 42 beautiful single shadows. As you can see, I have some in the 12-pan palettes and then some in the single pans. This palette here are the 12 multi-chromes. I'm trying to show it in different angles, but I definitely think the camera doesn't do these justice. They definitely look much more shifty in person. And with these swatches, I'm really trying my best to show you it from different angles, but truly, like, these are so mesmerizing. And I will say for the multi-chromes, the first 7 definitely have more of like a sheer base, and they look a little bit more iridescent and like eyeshadow topper like, and then the remaining 8 to 12 are a little bit more darker, and you'll definitely see that when they're all swatched side by side or together. But these shades, seriously, so pretty, so mesmerizing. They all have a really nice shift. Some of them are more shifty than others, but I will say they all pretty much do have a really unique shift. And then this shade here, it is called Judy, which I am not affiliated with, by the way, guys. I had no idea they were making a shade called Judy, and I was so happy when I saw it because anything with my name on it, I'm just like, I love it. So I'm quite biased to Judy, and it is nonetheless a really, really pretty shade. Well, going on to Thor, it does go a little bit darker. This one has more of like a black base, so you can see like the later half, the shadows have more an opacity, you know, to the shadow. You can see it right here. Like the first couple of shadows are a little bit more iridescent, a little bit lighter, which is definitely like more my vibe. That's what I typically do like. Something, I don't know, I would describe it to be like very fairy-like, you know? But yeah, these really, really pretty, so pigmented. And you can see when I'm swatching, I'm going like down a lot, but you don't really need to do that. These are just so soft to swatch that I just kept like rubbing it. It just, you know, felt really smooth. So these are really, really pigmented, by the way, which you guys will see in the looks. But essentially we are on to the last shadow now, Leon, the red. This one has a really dark like black base. It's really, really pretty too. So yeah, these were all 12 of the multi-chromes. Definitely very, very special shades, and I think these are really unique in my comparisons. I don't really have that many comparisons. But with that being said, we are now moving into the first 12 of the shimmer shadows. These are really pretty too. Some of them actually do have like a duochrome flip. Not all of them, just a select few. Like this one here called Charlotte has like a reddish base, but the reflect is a little bit more lime green. So there really are some special shades here. and you know, they're really, really pretty. I love Oden's Eye shimmer formula. If anything with the shimmers, I just wish they had a little bit more like sparkle in them, something similar to the Flower Nose formula or like the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter, where it has just a little bit more like little glitters. Like you can see on camera, they're so sparkly, so pretty, so mesmerizing on the eyes. But yeah, just because, you know, they're making single shimmer shadows, I kind of just wish they had a little bit more glitter to them. That's just probably me personally. I'm just obsessed with glitter. But nonetheless, honestly guys, like look how just smooth these swatch. I'm just filming this voiceover and like looking at all these shadows again. It is so satisfying. Like this is just so pretty. But if anything, I would have just loved a little bit more glitter, a little bit more sparkle in these, since they are called shimmers, but nonetheless it is very, very pretty. So here we have the first 12, so pretty. Moving into 13 to 20. These are more golden and blue shades. So the first few are golden shades, which again, stunning. We love that. I feel like with the shimmer shades, there's definitely more comparisons compared to the multi-chromes. But now as you can see, we are starting onto the blues. There is just a really pretty variation of different blues. Don't necessarily think for this collection like you need every shade, honestly. But I do think like picking up a select few, maybe making like a 12-pan palette that would be really pretty of like select multi-chromes and shimmers. I know a few sold out. I know I'm uploading this a little late, but this shade, oh my gosh, David, such a pretty blue. Like that swatched so pretty. So this is from 13 to 19 actually, because number 20, Anthony, it did actually shatter both times. So Oden's Eye was actually meant to release this collection, I think back in maybe like October, I can't remember, but it was supposed to be released earlier. They had some issues with the shadows breaking while in transit, and they wanted to pull it back and fix the problem. And for the most part, I would say they did fix it, but for some reason, Anthony just broke twice, like both packages, even after they fixed it. So I don't know, maybe skip out on Anthony because it might shatter, because it shattered twice for me, like that same shade, which is crazy, right? So yeah, these are very fragile, but I will say they did fix it a lot. Only one shadow broke the second time it arrived, just being completely honest. But anyway, onto these current swatches, you can see that these are more green and like cooler tone. The greens are really pretty. The greens are really speaking to me, but that Samuel shade, that silver, I really, really love. But all of these shades are really pretty, and we are coming towards the end of these swatches. Just so pretty, isn't it guys? I really do love all of these. So yeah, let me know which shades like speak out to you after seeing these swatches, or let me know which shades you ended up picking up on launch, since I am uploading this after launch. But here we have shimmers from 21 to 30, absolutely stunning. So now we're going to be moving on to the comparisons. So I don't have a comparison for all shades, just some. And I will say for the most part, a lot of these comparisons are from more of their recent palettes, like the Christmas collection or the Soul Main. And I also think if you missed out on Tina's Hummingbird palette, I think you could find a lot of comparisons for her palette, since her palette was majority shimmer shadows. I think she had like 8 shimmers in her palette. So I definitely think you probably could find some similar shades in this collection if you missed out on her palette. So hopefully these swatches will help you out. Again, these are just comparisons. I do think some look really similar, and then some are just, you know, just to give you an idea of what the shade will look like in case you do have some of these palettes. So yeah, hopefully you guys will find these comparisons helpful. I'll leave the voiceover here. We're gonna move into the 3 looks next. So yeah, hope you guys will enjoy that as well. So for the first look, we have a lime green and a blue color combo. It's perfect for spring. It's like a cooler take on a spring look. So to get started, I did go into the Hela palette first. I took a mixture of the shades Underworld and Moss to create a really nice lime green. I'm gonna focus this at my outer corners. I am gonna take it to my crease and up towards my brow bone, just really smoking the shadow out. Then moving into the Christmas Eve palette, I'm taking the shade Nightfall, and I'm gonna use this on my lower lash line just at the outer third. This is really gonna get that blue and green color combo going. But from the same palette, taking these shades Christmas Eve and Night Sky, just those two darker navies, I'm gonna use this to define my lower lash line at the outer third. I like to create a straighter lower lash line. I feel like this just helps open up my eyes. I know it looks crazy right now, but I assure you, once the look comes together, it will look fine. But now we can move into the beautiful multi-chrome and shimmers. I'm first taking the shade Lola, which is a multi-chrome. I'm gonna focus this at the inner third of my eyes. And as you can see, the main color story of Lola is the lime green. But in certain angles, you do get a shift of a pink. I will say for this multi-chrome, the shift is not too crazy intense, but you definitely can see it when your head tilts. But I would say for the most part, you definitely see most of the lime green. Then taking the shimmer shadow in the shade Daniel, this is a bright aqua blue. I'm actually going to use this as my inner corner highlight. This does need a little bit of building, I feel, so just slowly building that on at the inner corners, and I'm going to slightly diffuse that into the lime green. Now I'm taking the shade Justin, which is a bright forest green, and I'm going to use that on my lower lash line at the inner third to sort of highlight and also complement the green that's already on our lids. Then going into another shimmer, this one is called Samuel. This is the Stark Silver. I'm going to use that at the center of my eye, sort of blending that green into the navy on the lower lash. I'm also going to run that along my like crease line, sort of above my crease, just to like mesh the silver and green together, just to add more like highlight to the look. I feel like this really brings the entire look together, and I think the silver is something I'm definitely going to have on hand just because it really does enhance a look so much. But to complete the look, I did take a navy blue liquid liner to create the base of my wing. I did go back into those navy shadows from the Christmas Eve palette to help smudge and smoke that wing out. I think the contrast of the navy wing looks really great against the lime green. Really does enhance that blue and green color story that we're going for. And then lastly, of course, I just had to add a little gem to this look, so just adding a tiny one at the center of my lower lash line. But here we have the first look completed. This is the green and blue color combo. I absolutely love how this look turned out. I just love how wet my eyes look. Like the reflect on these shadows are so pretty, and I just love this color combo. I did pair it with the Alva blush in Apricot Girl, and then also the light peach velvet lipstick from Oden'S as well. I did add a bit of that multi-chrome lime shadow onto my nose as a highlight. Love how, you know, multi-purpose that is. But essentially this is the first look completed. Again, I love how it turned out, so hopefully you guys like it too. Alright, so now onto the second look. We have a berry red and purple color story, completely different from the first look. So we're gonna go into the Merry Christmas palette first. I'm taking the shade Poinsettia, and this is gonna be the base color for our eye look. I do go into my Red Dragon palette, and I'm taking the shade Dragon, and I'm just using this on a tiny brush just to blend out the outer edges, so that way we have more of a gradient blended look, and also it just enhances that red a little bit more, giving us a brighter look. I'm gonna go back into that same red shadow from the Merry Christmas palette. I'm gonna focus that on my lower lash line, and then I'll take Dragon again just to blend and diffuse that out. But now onto the single shadows. I'm going into the shade Leon, which is a multi-chrome. This has like a red to black sort of flip. The most color you'll see is going to be that red, so I'm just taking that on my finger and dabbing that onto my lid space. Then I'll take a brush to diffuse and blend that out into my crease, so that way there's nothing so harsh on my eyes. But this is a really full shadow. Honestly, you could just use this with the red matte shadows and you're good to go. That's like a Christmas, a Valentine's Day, a Lunar New Year look all done. It's just so pretty. But we are gonna go in with a shimmer shadow. This one is the shade Stella, and we're gonna also use my finger again, apply that to the center of my eyes. Then I'll go in with a brush to maneuver that. But I mostly just want this on the center, sort of like a halo eye effect. And I think like the purple on top of the red, it contrasts really well together. So I'm also gonna take that onto my lower lash line as well, just at the center again. It's not gonna look as intense as it does on the lids just because we don't have that red base. Then I'm gonna go into another shimmer. This one is called Emma. I'm gonna first focus that in my inner corners just to use as a highlight. I also take that into the inner third of my lower lash line. This is a really nice like lilac shade, but I feel like for my inner corner I wanted something to be a little bit more intense, so I'm taking Samuel, which was one of the shades we used in the first look, the silver, and I'm gonna put that right on top. And I feel like that just enhances the inner corner so much and turns it into a lighter purple, which is so pretty. So I feel like Samuel is a really good shade to have because you can literally transform any shadow with this silver. But here we have the second look completed, the berry red and purple color combo. Love how this turned out as well. You guys know how much I love red shadows, and I feel like red and purple, it's such a nice color combo. This is actually my Sailor Mars eye look, so let me know if you got reminded by Sailor Mars from this color story. And finally, we have the last look. We got a minty graphic liner with pearls, a lot of multi-chrome. It's a really simple look to do, so let's hop right into it. I'm first going into my Red Dragon palette. I'm taking the shade Serene just as a peachy base color. I'm taking a little bit of this because I want this to be somewhat sheer, just a little bit of base to contrast against the minty blue that we're going to be using. So taking the shade Catnip from the Saga of Freya Chapter 2 palette, I'm going to focus this at the inner corners of my eyes. This is somewhat going to be the base for our inner corner. So I'm just taking that on a pencil brush and applying it to the inner third and slowly diffusing that out into my upper crease. I will also take that onto my lower lash line as well, just at the inner third once again. So everything in the inner third is going to be this minty shadow. I then take Oden's Eyes Soul Maiden Gel Liner in number 4. It pretty much matches the mint shadow perfectly. So I'm going to use this to create that graphic outer wing. You just do your wing like normal at the outer edge, but then you sort of like scoop it into your crease, making it really curved. It's actually really easy to do, and it just gives a lot of like skill to your look in a way. But I will go back into Catnip, that minty shadow, on top of the eyeliner just to enhance the color a little bit more, and I think it just matches perfectly, but we got that precision down. And the first multi-chrome we're going to be using is called Maja. I'm going to use this on my finger and tap that at the center of my eyes and then slowly blend that out in my lid space. So we sort of created like a little cage on our lids. So I'm just keeping that in between the mint shadows. And then I'm going to take Jacob and I'm going to apply that on top of our minty inner corners and then our graphic wing as well. I feel like this just enhances that inner corner and really does highlight it. And it really is such a pretty aqua shade. But for the final multi-chrome, I had to go in with the shade Judy. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if I didn't, right? I'm going to be applying this onto my lower lash line at the outer third. I will say you mostly get this like reddish purple, but it almost flips to a green as well. Like in certain lights I do see a lot of green, but really just to complete the look, I'm adding on these pearls at the inner corner and at the outer edge. I feel like whenever I'm playing with mint shadows, I have to add on pearls. But here we have the final look completed. This was an inspired look, and I always love doing inspired looks because it always makes me go out of my usual makeup style and technique, so doing this was really fun. I feel like we got a really fun look out of it as well. So I love how this look turned out. I'm also wearing the Alva blusher in Apricot Girl, the same blush in look 1 as well, that's from Oden'S. But overall, really love how this look turned out. I love how all look turned out, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Okay, I know, that was a lot. Swatches, comparisons, 3 looks. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know which shade stood out to you the most. Again, I'm not gonna be biased, but the shade Judy, anything with my name on it. I think it's because like growing up, you know, when you would go to those souvenir stores and they would have the souvenirs with like the name on it, there would never be Judy on it. So anytime I see a character or anything with my name on it, I'm just very biased to it. So wouldn't it be cute if like you guys got the shade Judy as well and we could all just twin in the shade Judy? It's like our little friendship eyeshadow. But honestly, all shadows are absolutely stunning, as I'm sure you guys saw from the last, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, I'm gonna assume, editing Judy. Let's see how much you can cut. Again, let me know your thoughts down below. Like the video if you found it helpful, and with that being said, I'll go ahead and catch you guys in my next video. Bye!